You guys probably remember that not too long ago, there was a Jujutsu Kaisen exhibition in Tokyo. During that event, Gege Sensei answered some fan questions. And recently, a similar exhibition was held in Osaka, where Gege Sensei once again responded to some important questions. What he said has sparked major discussions online, yet again. I'll break down what was featured at the exhibition, what Gege revealed, and why the internet is currently so divided. Plus, I've got an interesting update related to Gojo that's been making waves. So let's get into it. A fan who attended the Osaka exhibition shared their full experience with us. Right at the entrance, there were a few of Gege's illustrations on display, including one of Gojo with his eyes closed, alongside other sketches. This particular exhibition focused on the Shinjuku Decisive Battle arc, the same arc where everything started to go downhill. Now, during the exhibition, Gege Sensei clarified the real reason why Gojo lost. So far in the series, Gojo has only been defeated by 3 people, Toji, Kenjaku, and Sukuna. And surprisingly, the reason behind each loss is exactly the same. Gojo was careless. That's what Gege has officially confirmed. Let me read you Gege's words directly. After defeating Mahoraga, Gojo believed Sukuna had no possible method left to bypass his infinity. Basically, in chapter 235, when Gojo took down Mahoraga and saw the state Sukuna was in, he assumed there was no way Sukuna could now breach his infinity. In his mind, Sukuna had no tricks left. Gege mentioned that the usual cautious Gojo would have sensed something was off and would have avoided the fatal strike. But because he let his guard down, he got sliced. And this one statement has sparked tons of debate online. First off, it's now confirmed that the exact moment Yuji says, Gojo wins, is precisely when Gojo gets cut. There was supposed to be a panel showing this more clearly, but instead, we only see Gojo smiling. Now, you might ask, if he's smiling, how is he already wounded? Well, look closer. That's not a smile. There's actually an injury near his lips. If you remove that wound from the image, you'll see that Gojo is shocked, not smiling. I missed that detail at first too, honestly. But that was the moment Gojo was cut. Now comes the big question. Why did Gojo let his guard down? And honestly, this shouldn't even be a question. If you or I were in his place, we probably would have done the same. Gojo was going up against a monster, basically fighting a 1 versus 3. And by the end of chapter 235, he had nearly won. He had regained control of his RCT, reverse cursed technique, was landing black flashes, and had just unleashed a hollow purple, which felt like his final move. Physically, Gojo was in excellent shape. His mind, maybe not so much. Sukuna, on the other hand, was in terrible condition. He couldn't open a domain, couldn't heal, had no access to RCT, one of his arms was severed, an eye was destroyed, and even his greatest asset, Mahoraga, had been defeated. Gojo probably looked at all that and thought, there's nothing more he can do now. No way he's breaking through my infinity. So he dropped his guard. But that's when Sukuna landed a slash that cut through Gojo completely. A lot of fans are confused about what exactly happened here, and some are misinterpreting it. People think Gojo didn't see the slash coming, but that's not true. Gojo has the 6 eyes, which allow him to detect cursed energy. And in chapter 235, it was clearly shown that whenever someone uses a cursed technique, it creates a spark, a signal that can be noticed. When Gojo used Reversal Red, Sukuna noticed that spark. So of course, Gojo would have detected Sukuna preparing the slash. Yes, Sukuna had taken a binding vow that allowed him to use slashes without hand signs, but cursed energy is still required. And Gojo would have sensed that. The real twist? Gojo didn't expect that slash. He thought it was just another ordinary attack, and even with his infinity off, Gojo had previously tanked much more brutal slashes inside Sukuna's domain. So in his mind, this one would be no different. But it was, because this wasn't just a regular slash. This was the world-splitting slash. It's honestly both hilarious and painfully real. Funny because Gojo became a character who lost, purely because of his own misjudgments. Sure, many characters fall due to their mistakes, but in Gojo's case, his downfall wasn't because Sukuna was overwhelmingly stronger. Sukuna was powerful, no doubt, but if Gojo hadn't let his guard down, there's a high chance he could have actually won. If he had taken that fight seriously till the end, maybe Gojo would have been the one standing. But looking at Sukuna's terrifying form, even I might have dropped my guard. Still, Gojo lowering his defenses was the very reason he lost. And honestly, I don't mind that as an explanation. It feels justified. The real problem starts in chapter 251, when Maki drives a sword through Sukuna's chest. We're told this happened because Sukuna was caught off guard, not expecting anyone besides Yuta within the domain. So he let his guard down, and Maki struck. But here's the contradiction. When Sukuna drops his guard, he survives. Yet when Gojo does the same, he dies? That's hard to accept. Maybe it's just Gege never been a fan of the white-haired ones. Anyway, moving on, Gege-sensei revealed something else. He said that after Gojo, there was only one other person Sukuna genuinely thought could defeat him, and that person was Kashimo. Yes, I'm talking about the god of lightning himself. The same guy who didn't even last 2 full chapters in battle. The guy who only managed to land 2 hits on Sukuna. That was supposed to be Sukuna's greatest threat? If that's true, then what about Yuta, the guy many fans saw as Gojo's successor? The one who literally took over Gojo's body, wielded a semi-broken domain expansion, and used it effectively in a different body. This same Yuta, alongside Rika, clashed against Sukuna and managed to keep up. Yuta even slashed Sukuna multiple times inside his domain. Rika devoured one of Sukuna's arms. Yuta used Jacob's ladder, an attack that could potentially erase Sukuna's very existence. He even used cursed technique, hopping to move into Kinji's body and return to the fight. And now we're being told that Kashimo, whose final form kills himself, was more dangerous than Yuta? I'm sorry, I'm not buying that. Whether Kashimo was stronger 400 years ago or not doesn't matter. In the end, Yuta landed the final blow. He won. Let's not forget what Gege said about Sukuna, that everyone loves this mischievous little demon who eats people, kills judges, and does whatever he pleases. I get it now. Gege's basically proposing to Sukuna at this point. Then there's this bizarre comparison. For Yuji, Sukuna is like Rika is to Yuta, similar to how Naruto had Kurama. No way. Naruto and Kurama's bond was never like Yuji and Sukuna's. Kurama was filled with hate due to centuries of mistreatment by shinobi, and Naruto healed that hate, turning Kurama into a brother, someone he sacrificed for, someone who stood by him. Yuji and Sukuna's relationship? Nowhere close. Sukuna's finger may be inside Yuji, but there's no brotherhood there, just manipulation and control. One more thing, turns out the comedic twist behind Kenjaku's defeat was pre-planned. Apparently, Takaba was always supposed to beat Kenjaku, and only afterward was it decided that it would be for comedic effect. Also, Takaba doesn't even understand Jujutsu. He just wants to do comedy. Yet this man, who doesn't even grasp the system, managed to beat someone who's been orchestrating killing games for centuries. Takaba got distracted, and then Yuta finished off Kenjaku. Hopefully, this was all clarified during the exhibition event. What do you think about all this? Now, let's talk Boruto. The anime has officially been announced. Yes, it's coming back. There are already around 293 episodes of the original, but the next arc, Boruto, 2 Blue Vortex, has been confirmed. The date hasn't been revealed yet, but it's up on Studio Pierrot's official website. Hopefully, by 2026 at the latest, the anime will finally resume with Season 3. Anyway, that's all for this video. I just hope no one says Gojo's death was a plot hole. It wasn't. It was plot-driven. His death wasn't sudden, it built up over time. Every time he miscalculated something and paid the price. The only thing I can't accept is how it all happened off-screen. That still stings.